All right, folks, we're coming right back right now. Sorry about that. You know how things go when you got technology and got to unplug something, plug something back up right now. I believe you can hear me now. Oh, yes, yeah. You can hear me now. And the whole time I've been doing that right there, you're looking at Kacie and Jami, and they're excited because it's getting closer and closer to Uniquely Union. Right. And this is one of the years that y'all have been doing this. This is one of the biggest one that I've seen. You've got it jam-packed.
Well, we're trying. We're trying to create something for everybody, every member of the family.
Well, you've got every member on the family here. And plus, what I like about is not only have you got some the main attraction coming, which is Mr. Leatherwood there, Bryce Leatherwood, and which is the winner of the Voice in 2022.
He just won in December.
In December, yeah. Wow. And
my husband and I have been Voice fans since the show started. We watch it every year, and when he came on the stage the first time, I kind of fell in love with him because he was so cute. And Blake Shelton said, "If that ain't country, I don't know what country is," because he would always say Leatherwood. I mean, he would stretch it out, you know. So he was kind of my pick from the beginning. So I'm excited that he's coming to Union.
Well, you know,
and the song he auditioned to was a Conway song, and you know, with The Voice, you might get one judge or two judges to turn, but he got all the judges to turn, which was a big deal. Mm-hmm. And
well, and I think Blake, he turned pretty quick.
Yeah. They were smacking those buttons, and when one started going, they all started going. But you know, he picked a really good Conway song to sing. I hope he sings it here in Union. Yep. That was a good song.
Yeah, well, the background song I had right here was Trent.
Travis.
Trouble,
yeah.
Yeah, Trouble. And I like that one. It's kind of upbeat and fast like that. Now, also, Friday, the 15th, between 5:30 and 7:30, you got Quest.
Correct.
They're a local favorite.
Yeah, they're a Uniquely Union staple.
Yes.
We love them.
Yeah, and I was I videoed them and live streamed them quite a few times. You know, when you had them downtown and some other places like that, and I show up like it. It says, "Hey, here comes our videographer."
And you know, I talk about this all the time. The purpose of Uniquely Union is to create a draw. So, and people wonder why we don't do one thing or another thing. But Quest brings their own crowd. I can bring somebody and nobody knows who they are and nobody's coming to see them. But Quest has their own following. They have their own little set of groupies, and they'll bring their own crowd. So
right, the groupies will bring because they're good.
They are.
And also you've got the Mighty McFly.
Yeah.
He's going to be from 8 to 10. And now, if you haven't seen him, folks, I tell you what, he is not only he is an entertainer.
He is a showman, an absolute showman. And last year was the first time I'd ever seen him. I heard great things about him. But I'm gonna tell you, he is just larger than life. He was running up and down Main Street, and he has on this crazy red suit and red shoes, and he's a funny.
Well, you know, when the first time I saw him, and I didn't know. I was thinking, well, is he with somebody else or something like that? I didn't know that he was the.
He was it.
He was it.
So and you know, before the show last year, he and his companion were walking up and down Main Street, and I knew him by his pictures. I was like, this dude is just out here walking around with everybody. But last year we we upped our insurance, and Casey's our insurance girl, and we really need to make sure that all our bases are covered, and one of the first things he did was jump up on a 10-foot high speaker.
Yes, I saw them.
And me and Kacie looked at each other and we're like, whew, glad we got that insurance. Because he scared us to death.
Well, I think he scared somebody else because they kind of helped him down.
Yeah.
Get on it, and his band, the girls singing with him, they were awesome too.
Yeah,
but he's real good. You got to be there to see them. Just start your whole day out around 5:30 Friday. Come downtown and listen to Quest, and also that's where your opening ceremonies at. Give your speeches and tell kind of what's going on a little bit.
Absolutely. So the opening ceremony will be between 7:30 and 8, and we will introduce the speakers. The speaker will introduce the sponsors and our cookers, and just kind of lay out the weekend. We want to introduce the committee and kind of talk about what goes in to Uniquely Union and what gets us 364 days a year to that one.
Right, and people think that you don't start this in 1 month. You got to start this year round. You're probably already planning now for next year.
We do. We are taking notes.
Yep.
Right, and that's a good thing. Now,
one thing I'd like to mention about Mighty McFly is how much he enjoyed Quest. He requested Quest to be there Friday night. He said, if y'all ask me to come back, please have Quest playing in front of me again, because he loved them.
Yeah.
And I thought that was a good tribute to Union, that...
Well, they play some of that good music,
They do.
that we grew up with. And unfortunately here lately, it's like Jimmy Buffett passing away and
right.
some of the others like that. Some of our music is kind of like dying in a way.
You're right.
From some of these artists and all. And for someone to take up and play those is fantastic. Now, also, you're going to have some great barbecue cooking, and that's around, let's say, 4 o'clock at Cooker's meeting in the judges' quarters, which will Main Street Junction, correct?
That's just for the judges. So the SBN, which is our sanctioning body, will meet with the judges. They'll get their supplies that we have to give them, and we give them what they need for the taster's choice for the next day. We give them their supplies, any information they need, and once those judges brief them and get done with them, then they send them out. They get their Boston butts, they get their 4, and they're off to the races.
Okay. Now you have them cooking, some cooking Friday and some cooking Saturday, correct?
Well, if you're a cooker and you choose to do anything but competition, that takes place on Friday night, and the judges for that are, and we call them celebrity judges. They're not really celebrities, except in our eyes. It's our sponsors. A part of the perk or the incentive is that they can come and judge those things. Last year, Ashley Graham won with, and it was 50 Shades of Lemon, as I think what it was called. But anything but savory, they turn in anything but barbecue, anything but pulled pork. So it can be shrimp and grits, it can be pot roast, it can be anything as long as it wows the judges. And then anything but sweet, of course, is a sweet dish. And I'm not you've been in that room. So does everybody taste the same of everything?
It depends on how many you have. If you've got too many competing, you can't push that much food on somebody. They might break them in half. It depends on how many people sign up to do it.
Now, do you have, when the judges, I'd love to be a judge. I mean, all these judges.
I've had to do it. I've had to do it. Just had to. One time. They made me do it one, but I only got to do it once. So. Yeah.
Well, so I'd like to be on the sweet part of it. But it's, and it's got to be, do they, I want the judges to clean their palates,
They do. Saltine crackers. They request saltine, and this is the SBN guys for the next day. And the SBN guys for Saturday are there Friday night, and they kind of tell our celebrity judges, kind of guide them and give them instructions on what they need to be looking for. And they always request loaf bread, and they request saltines, but those saltines are on the table to cleanse their palate when they're going from beef to beef to beef, or pork to pork to pork.
Oh, okay. And because I smelled the aroma is Oh, it's going to make you hungry. Now, what do they do, say, after judges and judge and everything like that? Will they be like selling the meat to the public or?
No.
We do taster's choice. And you know, with DHEC regulations like they are, and we just don't delve into that.
Well, it's probably liability some
Yeah.
too. It could be.
So we allow the first however many, I think it's 2 or 3 competition cookers, if they want to sell, we'll allow them to be food vendors.
Right.
And we do that because we've had so many complaints about not being able to buy and try the barbecue. So there'll be 2 or 3 vendors there that will be selling some of theirs, but they'll do it like as a plate or a brisket or whatever. Midway Barbecue will be there.
Okay.
And I just feel like they are like Quest. They're
Right.
like a staple to Uniquely Union. And people drive here from all over the place to eat at Midway Barbecue.
You hear all over the place, you know, because I've been in Columbia and someone says, "Oh, you know where Midway Barbecue is?" And yeah, that's where it's at.
And I just don't know how you can have a barbecue festival and not include them. You know what I mean?
Exactly. I was thinking maybe some of the food with when they got through, they got a bunch of food, a lot of cooking going on there. It's like the neighborhood Love Thy Neighbor. I had on here
Right.
last time. If they use some of that from the church, the Grace Church, I know they fix meals on a once a week or so for the pub for the
Right.
homeless and stuff like that. So
Well, I will tell you. So that's where the taster's choice comes from. So
okay,
at 12 on Saturday, you can buy a ticket for $10. And I wish Tubo was here to talk about this. You can pick the 10 cookers of your choice and sample 2 ounces of their barbecue. And then at the end of that, you decide which one you like the best and you vote for that one. And that person wins bragging rights. They have, you know, the taster's choice. They were the people's favorite.
Oh, okay. Well, that's pretty neat. And now, how'd you get Sheriff Bailey in the cooking with this?
I don't know. I don't know who twisted his arm. I think Tubo and his wife have beat him up.
Something had to happen there.
And it may not be his wife, but I know she came up with the name Butts and Cuffs. I know
Yep.
that's her name.
There was some trash talking going on, I think, that kind of forced him,
Force him into doing
backed
it.
him in the corner, and he kind of had to, I think.
I think there's been a lot of bullying going on because if you look at the list of cookers and how many union, we're so excited because we've never had this many union cook teams and they just been bullying each other. Tubo made a post and I commented something about Tubo and Jami Babb were recruiting, but they've been running their mouths to people. That's what they're doing. They're being mean.
Well, that's the fun competition of it like that. And you know what's fun part is when you find out who the winner is, you know some bragging is going to be
yeah.
going on there.
Yeah.
But it's great that like I said, I have never seen it this big
That's
and,
right.
and so much like that, and I'm excited about it also. And now, some people might think, okay, I got some kids. What are they going to do?
Well, the block in front of WBCU is always the kids zone. We've got 3 mechanical rods that'll be there, and they're free. We try to get something age appropriate that can accommodate everybody. But our main attraction is the Ferris wheel that we put up at the end of the main street, and it's just always great to look down the road and see that big old Ferris wheel sitting in the middle of Main Street. So we're excited to have it back again. But there's going to be different things down the street, but the mechanical rides is always the main attraction because they are free. We don't charge
and
for
that way the kids have something to do and love it. And plus, now you got food vendors.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about some of your food vendors.
Before we go there, I want to say this. Kacie's baby is the kids' zone, always has been, and she goes to great lengths to be sure that a 1-year-old can ride that ride with their mama or a 16-year-old can ride that ride by themselves. She really
That's
tries to find stuff that's diverse and can serve anybody. So it's not just too many baby rides and it's not too many grown-up rides. We try to go down the middle and she really tries hard at that. So
We are kind of limited because we are in the middle of Main Street, so
Yeah.
we're
Well,
kind
the
of
fair-
limited on what we can put there.
When I seen the Ferris wheel down, I thought that's so neat.
yeah, and financially, everything's going up. Everything's going up, including mechanical rides. So
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's everywhere.
Yeah.
Gas prices and everything like that.
groceries, everything.
Everything is just up there, and I think people sees that now, so they really don't. I myself, I see. Oh yeah, I know this is high now. I know it's going up here, and I know that these things are high. So I don't really look at it now as a cost. Well, wow, this is high. This is right here. Hey, you can't beat this price down there. It's free.
That's
Yeah,
right.
that's right.
That's right. And I hope people will take that into consideration, that no matter what, we try really hard to maintain that free. We want it to be a free event for our guests and for Union locals.
Okay. Now,
A lot of the local festivals that people have, sometimes their main attraction is kind of separated and they charge for it, and we don't want to do that. We wanted to bring a name to Union, and Leatherwood's name is growing as we speak. He's actually took off since we've started this, since we booked him, but it's not a charge. It's free. Like I said, some of our neighboring counties do that, but we want to keep everything free that we can, except for food. You got to buy your own food.
Well,
I'm sorry.
You got to buy your own food, but because a lot of, like you said, in other towns and stuff like that, they want to charge you so many tickets to do this right here, which puts a little extra. And to me, having it free there, to bring the family in, they can go up into some of the food vendors and get some food and enjoy the event. I mean, go up and now. They're going to have to bring their own chair for the main stage, correct?
Yes, there will be. Yeah, please bring you a chair and a sack. It'll be fine. Yes, please bring you a chair. There'll be limited seating, but it's probably uncomfortable. But yeah, please bring you a chair, and there'll be 2 stages there, and we can talk about that whenever you get to that. But they'll need a chair for both of those.
Okay. Now your big stage is going to be right in front of the courthouse, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I knew that's where you had it last year, and the smaller stage is going to be down towards WBCU, correct?
And the kids zone area, yeah.
Okay, so is it going to be beyond the kids zone as far as
It'll be right at the sheriff's department, and they have a wide sidewalk there, so it'll be right there.
Oh, okay, and that's where you're going to have some of the other entertainments.
Some local gospel singing will be going on that stage.
Yes, local gospel singing, and some is it Miss Uniquely Union beauty pageant. There, I'm going to get it. Oh, she's going to kill me.
Yep. That'll be up on the main stage.
Main stage.
Yeah.
Okay. Now you've got several things going on that main stage besides, just one band stuff. And we're going to come back here in just a moment. I want to give you your sponsors some credit here, because without sponsors, it'd be hard to do, wouldn't it?
Absolutely. It would be nearly impossible.
Yeah. So let's take a minute here, about 40-some seconds, and let's check out some of these sponsors.
Oh, I get by with a little help from my friends. Get high with a little help from my friends. Gonna try with a little help from my friends. Do you need anybody? I need somebody to love. Could it be anybody? I want somebody to love. Would you believe it? I love the first sight. Yes, I'm certain that it happens all the time.
Okay, we're back, and you are listening to Kacie and Jami Trammell here for what's going on with the Uniquely Union coming up very shortly, less than 2 weeks, and everybody's excited. and about the entertainment. You're going to find out more about the entertainment here in just a moment. If you want to have any questions you want to ask either one of them, you can call 864-441-9382, and they will be glad to answer your questions. And, well, who knows? You might win something. Don't know till you call in and see. I'm Jerry McKee, and we're going back to Kacie and Jami. All right. And now, I should have asked you during commercial here, but I'll ask you here in a second about a car or something. Is that something separate?
It is something separate.
Okay. That's what
Let's don't talk about
that's
that.
what I kind of thought.
Yeah, that's blended into something else.
Okay. That's all right. I get things run together, folks. You know how I am like that. Now, all of these things here, we're talking about anything but savor and anything but sweet is to be turned in around 6 or 7 o'clock on Friday. And also, you have your entertainment with Quest from 5:30 to 7:30. The opening at 7:30, from 8 to 10, the Mighty Fly. And all this is on Friday.
Correct.
Packed in there on Friday.
Correct.
Now, what time will they be closing the streets down where people can get in, and tell a little bit about where they can park?
So, and this is more local information. The streets will close Friday morning at 8 a.m. and downtown merchants and anybody that operates off of downtown should have already gotten a letter from us that's kind of saying, the streets are closing at 8 a.m. Friday. Please utilize the rear parking. Please inform your employees and your customers, this is what we're doing, because we don't want to inconvenience people too terribly bad. I know that people don't want to drive up to work and have Main Street blocked. I know that it's a pain, but we've asked that people work with us and have some patience while we get through this. Last year we closed the stage at noontime, and we're
Close the road.
What'd I say?
The stage.
Did I say that?
Yeah. That's
We
okay.
closed the road at noon last year, and they got it gave him 4 hours to get the stage up and going, and it was nearly impossible.
Well, it's kind of impossible getting everyone in situated at that time too, because it's a lot of
We had
vendors.
some cars we had to track down the owners to, and we spent a lot of time doing that.
We almost lost our minds last year. Like, the setup was the hardest part, getting everybody in and getting them out by 4 o'clock. And it was a lot of people, and it'll be a lot of people again this year. But we've extended that time to close from 8 instead of noon.
Right, and there's plenty parking behind some of the buildings there, and also it gives you a chance to drive through some streets that you haven't drove down in a long time.
That's right.
There might be something new there. So, well, I didn't know this. I need to stop. So, and the merchants, I know that they're, to me, if I was a merchant there, I would be excited about it, because it's going to bring a lot of people and gives them the chance to be open and be a participant in Uniquely Union.
Right.
Yes.
And now, let's talk about some food vendors.
Okay.
Let's talk about what some of the food vendors are going to be there, and what some of their specialties. That way, when people come, they say, "Oh, I want to go to that one. I want to go to this one."
Well, one in particular, and I can't remember the actual name of his vending shack, and I know shack's not a good word, vending trailer. He does Thai food, so that was unique. And we try really hard to not do. We want you to have a hamburger and a hot dog and a Philly steak. We want you to have that stuff, but we want the different stuff too. So we've got one vendor coming with street tacos. We've got the Thai food coming. We've got of course funnel cakes, your normal
Right.
funnel festival food, and we get excited about the unique stuff, the different stuff.
Right.
And there's even one coffee lady.
I was about to say,
that's-
don't forget the coffee.
Yeah, Kacie was all about that coffee lady, and we're excited. We're excited.
And are you going to have any sweet vendors?
Absolutely. So not a lot of our food vendors are local. But two of our sweet food vendors are. So there's Amazing Sweets, which is Rhonda Gregory, and then there's Sweet Treats by Christy, which is Christy Scott. So they'll both be there.
Okay.
And you can't go wrong with either one.
Miss Ochiltree will be there with her peanuts.
That's right.
Buffalo peanuts.
That's right.
Wow.
And there'll be several doing ice cream and ice cones and stuff like that. I know Kona Ice will be there.
Okay. They got a neat truck.
They do. And you know, they're from Gaffney, and I passed them going home the other day, and I passed like 3 of those trucks in a row. And I thought, well, how many of those things have they got?
I know.
But
Wow.
I thought there was just one, but there's
that
not.
was me. I
There's
thought there
more
was just
than-
one.
There's not. There's more than one.
I seen them in Spartanburg and all. They go all over the place like that. That's some good stuff, especially on a good warm day. And hopefully next the 15th and 16th, when it comes around, that it's going to be weather like we're having right now.
And while we're talking about the food, I want to point this out. And this has not been, we don't love this. So the fire code changed in 2021, and our local people are having to enforce that this year, which means that where we had food spread out all down Main Street last year, we're having to kind of resituate that. And the stipulation says that a food vendor that's cooking, that has the cooking stuff, grease, whatever, overhead, whatever, they have to be 10 feet from anything. So that means they're 10 foot from a building, 10 foot from a curb, and 10 foot from the next vendor. So they've got to be 10 feet from them all the way around. So short of just putting everybody in the middle of Main Street, which is a traffic nightmare, we can't,
Right.
like if there's an emergency, we got to be able to quickly get through, can't block up the middle of downtown. So we're taking the area between the courthouse and the district office and creating a food court. Now, if you don't cook, if you're doing ice cream, peanuts, if you're doing the stuff that's not cooking,
Right.
we do have that down Main Street. But if you're cooking food, you're going to be in a food court, and that food court is adjacent to the stage. So
Okay. Well, that's understandable, really, because anything can happen. You're cooking with grease,
Yeah.
and you're inside of an enclosed vehicle. You're near buildings that's got some age on them.
Yeah.
So I can understand that, but you're still creating a food court
yeah,
that I know I can go here and get the good
Yeah.
fried stuff for my veins, and then go the other way and get the other sugar stuff.
that's right. That's
So, and
And we've had a food court in the past when we were
have.
down at the
did.
university parking lot. I mean, Gracie area. We had a food court.
everything was together.
It worked out pretty good. We just hope that our vendors understand why we're having to go back to it.
Yeah.
now for the between 10 and 12 on Saturday, Miss Uniquely Union Beauty Pageant, will the pageant be going on then, and will they name someone then, or will it be?
Well, yep, we have over 40 girls that are signed up between the ages of 0 to 13. And we're really excited about it. This is more than we had last year, so it's growing. It makes me excited. I actually had to cut it off 2 days early. I had registration running through September 1st, but we had to cut it off 2 days early because I was out of spaces. So
Spaces.
Yep.
Well, one of your girls went to Miss Teen.
she won the teen portion of Miss Uniquely Union last year, and then went on and competed at Miss Union County Fair, and won Miss Union County Fair, and went on to Miss South Carolina. So yeah, she was.
See, it's just stepping stones right
That's
there,
right.
and to get your. Now, are you one of the judges, or?
Well, I'm an organizer. I'm not. I'm a boy mom, so I don't really know much about pageants. My friend Mandy Davis is helping me this year. Her daughter has done pageants for many years, so she's going to help me organize the actual pageant part. So we will have a winner Saturday, and we're really excited about it because of so many girls that we've got that's entered.
Now, with the girls, when they come out, they have something they got to talk, or they got to do some type of
No,
entertainment?
Again, I'm not a pageant mom, but it's a good pageant to start with. If you got a girl that's maybe interested but's a little bit shy and don't know if she really wants to do it, because it's theme wear. You
Right.
just wear, you don't have to have an evening gown and a talent and all that. It's just theme wear. And ours is red, white, and blue this year, so they could wear something patriotic or just red, white, and blue. And it just kind of gets their feet wet to see if they like it, if they think they would like
Well,
it.
that's a good way to do it. It really is, and especially especially little ones, you can get in front of a bunch of people like that,
Yep.
I know I'd cry.
But you mentioned our judges. Miss Madison Gregory is going to be one of our judges this year.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So we're excited about her. Sean Morris is
Yep.
going to be one of our judges, and I just drew a blank of who my third judge is. Oh, and I forgot her name again.
Madison was on the show.
I forgot her name. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Crystal. Her name's Crystal. I see her face, but I can't think of her name. But she has worked as a beautician for many years, so she's been around girls and knows, fashion and stuff real well. So we're excited about her. Miss Hannah P. is going.
Anthony.
Anthony, I'm sorry. She's going to be our MC. So she's.
All right.
So we're excited. Everything's coming together quickly.
Now you have something else going on there, which is
Oh, yeah.
main event.
Yes.
This is men's hair contest.
So we, one of our committee members, Misty Hackler, and I kind of wanted to do something different. You've heard of the mullet contest.
Oh, yes.
I mean, everyone, and that's a nationwide thing. So, but the problem is there's so many different types of hairstyles that's out there now. You have the boys with the hair flipped out with the wings and stuff like that. So we wanted to get our guys involved and get a main event winner.
I like the plain on the word of it, the spelling of it.
That's our marketing director.
Yeah, I mean, it's really good. I was like, man, what a neat.
I sent Kacie a message, and when you throwing out ideas, you don't ever, they shoot down 1,000 of my ideas here. But I sent main event, and she said, I love it. I thought, thank God.
Yeah. I thought it was, when I first read it like that, I said, wait a minute, did they misspell that? And I got to look, I said, no, the hair.
That's right. That's right.
That started at 11:30. And
Yeah, that's going to take place during the intermission of the pageant, because there's a break there where we have to go and get the judges' scores calculated, because we have 7 categories in our pageant, and you'll have 7 different category winners and a runner-up of 7 categories. You also have a best hair, best smile, best hair, smile, and eyes, and for each category. So there's a lot of awards that's going to be given away. And then you have 2 division winners. We have 0 to 7 overall winner for that age group, and then 8 to 13 division winner, and then a grand supreme winner. So there's a lot of awards that's got to be, those scores have to be calculated, and Philip Quinn is going to help me with that. He's going to be my auditor, so I'm excited. He worked on that spreadsheet.
Poor Philip.
But so we wanted some kind of intermission, something to happen during that time.
Right.
So that's where we're going to do the main event.
well, that's good. That's good. I'm just going to be interested to see who's going to win the main event, men's hair.
It's very important. Please sign up. I don't know. I don't know if we've had little interest. People are excited or enthralled by the idea, but we need people to sign up. You can go to uniquelyunion.com, main event, and sign up. It's completely free. We just want you to come and have a good time. But if nobody signs up, we got to kill it.
Yeah.
So
And we don't want to kill it.
no. So please, come, sign up, enjoy.
Or you can stop by State Farm beside Shoe Show, Brian Tolbert's office.
Absolutely.
I have some sign-up sheets there as well. So
Now, if you had one like that for less hair each year, I would sign up for that because, I think I'd win. Now, here's my favorite. I should have signed up for it, but I'm diabetic. I can't. Donut eating contest.
So we've done this for years. I mean, as long as I've been a part of Uniquely Union, which I was trying to think back today on my way home. When did I start with Uniquely Union? So I know it was before 2005.
You were at Daily Times.
Yeah, and I had my son in 2007, so I know it was before then. But we've always had the donut eating contest, and when we were at the fairgrounds, it was under the shed, the picnic shed, and everybody saw it, and we had such fun times. But since we've been on Main Street, we've been doing it down at the Kids Zone, and I think it's kind of been hidden. So this year we're bringing it up to the main stage so more people can see it. It's really fun.
Now, most people's question is going to ask is, what type of donuts?
There's only one donut.
It's got to be KK?
That's it.
That's it.
There is no other kind of donut.
And they will be fresh.
Oh, yes.
She goes at 5 o'clock in the morning or send somebody's husband.
Shane,
Yeah,
bless him.
yeah. She'll bless his heart, and all of our family, bless their hearts. They take hits. It's not just us. They all get.
Yeah.
They take hits and they jump in and help where they can, and we all appreciate them.
Well, I know your family always
do.
come together to help out like that, and then that's what I admire about your family is because they do get in there and help. I mean, I see them out there doing all kind of stuff on these events, and when you have that back, and you can't go wrong.
You're exactly right.
Now you got the Vicar Green going to be there from 2:30 to 4.
That's exactly right. That is Miss Erin, and I always want to call her Gallman, but it's Erin Robinson. She's the singer, and Tommy Lawson. Tommy's also going to be the sound engineer for us on stage 2, and when Sean Morris gets on stage in stage 2, he's going to drop and run and go sing on stage 1. So
Okay.
that may be a show in itself, just seeing
See him
get
run.
get from A to B.
Yeah.
But we're excited about Vicar Green. Excited they're able to join us.
Now between 4 and 5, you'll be giving out barbecue awards.
And Tubo does not want that on the main stage. Me and Tubo argue on that every year. He wants that.
Every year they
He
argue.
wants that to be somewhere air conditioned, and he knows from a cooker's perspective that they've been up all night.
Right.
in the heat.
In the heat, it's hot. They are miserable by the time it gets to awards, and they just want to know who won and let me go home.
Right.
And selfishly, I always want to drag it out, not because I want them to stay, but because people want
recognition.
Absolutely.
That's right.
People want to see who won first place, grand champion, reserve, especially this year with all those local teams, those union teams. People are going to want to see that. So, he didn't fight me as hard this year, but he did. He put his little shoulder in there, tried to.
He has to voice his opinion.
Yeah, he tried to push, and I said, just be easy.
Well, and also you'll be introducing the pageant queen around 5 o'clock.
Yeah, well, they help us to give out the awards, so
Okay.
they'll be there presenting the awards to the
That way it just
winners.
gives people time, what time they can come up and see these awards getting. And is that Jacob Bonet?
Bonet, let's say Bonet. I'm not sure. I could
Boignet.
Be, Boignet.
Boignet.
I could be slaughtering it. Boignet sounds great.
Oh, that's good to me, too.
But I'm going to tell you, I heard this young man, it's something that was happening down at Tubo's parking lot. There was a benefit going on, and I could hear this singing, and I thought, man, whoever that is sounds good. And as I got closer, I realized it was this young man, and it was just him and his guitar, and I was really impressed.
I heard him. I was there and heard him
Yes.
because at the same time I heard Jazzy Humphreys
Yes.
at the same time. And
Yes.
when I walked by, I stopped. I said,
Yes.
Wow.
He was just good.
Yeah.
And I was at the other side of the parking lot. You know, I'd been listening to singing all day long, but there was something that resonated with me about his voice, and it has stuck with me. And it's taken me forever to put this schedule together, simply because,
Leatherwood.
yeah.
yes.
Yeah, when you're dealing with a production group, when you're dealing with a recording artist, somebody that has signed, it's not as easy as just pushing around.
it's not.
So we have, and I'm not complaining about it at all, but I'm just saying that's been my delay. So I didn't even know if I had a place to put Jacob or anybody else. So I had to kind of not be asking people until I saw how much time they needed to do what they needed to do. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And then I see you got Jazzy Humphreys on there. She's
Yeah.
real sweet and good. She's another one of the voices I had to stop and hear when she was singing. She was on the show here and picked up the guitar and kind of one of her originals that she had written.
And another interesting point, you can't just put who you want to in front of this signed person. So everything from the picture that I use in the marketing, everything has to be approved and go through, and Jazzy had to be approved. So before I even asked Jazzy if she was interested in opening for Leatherwood, I had to get her approved. And I didn't want to go ask her and then have to go back and say, I'm sorry they didn't approve
you.
you. Yeah.
Oh, no,
And I
no.
didn't know what the components were that they were looking for. I didn't know if they were looking for somebody that wasn't country. I just didn't know what the components were. So I submitted Jazzy, I submitted her TikTok account, her Facebook account, so that they could go and listen to her, and they came back and said that's fine, that'll work. So then I could go and ask her. But that was tedious, just waiting. I had to wait like 2 or 3 weeks for them to approve it. It drove me crazy.
Well, people don't realize what you have to go through when you're going through a entertainer's manager.
That's
so
right.
You might not be talking to them directly at that moment, but you got to go here and here. I had to do that many years ago when I had a program where I talked to Charlie Daniels and Loretta Lynn, and I had to go through their managers and stuff like that. Loretta Lynn, I got to talk to her on her bus, and she kissed me right in the mouth.
Really?
Yes. I was getting ready to leave. She said, "Give me a hug," and a little kiss on the cheek like that, which I did. She said, "That's not how we do it." So I always have that memory, and it's a good one. But you got to go through so many things.
You do.
For these entertainers, and people don't realize it's not just calling them on the phone. Hey, can you run down here?
That's right.
And and also, and of course, Bryce Leatherwood will be here 8 to 9:30 on
Correct.
Saturday.
Correct.
And he is the winner of The Voice, season number 222.
That's right.
And so he's a good singer. I've been pulling up some of his music and listening to some when he's on the show, and he's good.
Yeah.
And I think people are going to really enjoy having him here. Now, Saturday also is where you turn in all your ribs, and you turn in your pork and your chicken, and your taster's choice is going to get ready to do it. And that's on a Saturday around 12 noon. And around 4 o'clock, you're going to have the cook-off awards, right?
Right. And I'll tell you, during those Taster Choice Awards, it's always very chaotic. Well, did I say awards?
You said awards.
I didn't mean
Not
to say
awards.
awards. But during the Taster's Choice competition,
Right.
it's very chaotic. There's people running everywhere. It's just, I don't know, it just seems to be a lot of high energy between that 12 to 2.
Mm-hmm.
And from the cooker's end of it, they are ready. They're ready to just lay down somewhere. And then the guests, they're running around trying to figure out what they like best. So it's a really high energy
I can see that chaos just kind of
Yeah.
like that. Run over here and grab this piece, and then collecting the data
Yeah.
Yeah.
and getting it all together. Now, disc golf.
And we don't really know anything about disc golf.
That's
You know,
all we know.
I know how to play. I know how to play golf, and I'm gonna imagine disc golf. This is where
I Googled it.
Did you?
Did. It looked like it had a basket and...
So it's this huge up and coming thing, and Miss Dale Golf is who contacted me about it, and I'm not sure who she's working with. I'm not sure who the gentleman is that she's working with. I didn't drill down far enough on that. When Miss Golf calls you about something, you just stop and try to make it happen.
Right.
She was a teacher when I was at Sims, and I have the utmost respect for her. So when Miss Golf calls, I just stop and try to make it happen. So she wanted a place where they could do or demo disc golf during Uniquely Union, and she had mentioned the university, and I felt like that was too far down and too far away, too far removed
Right.
from the activity. So, we, of course, we're using Main Street Junction during Uniquely Union anyway. So I just thought it would be a great place to have it in that park, that ornamental park. And they were good with that. So there'll be disc golf demo. So if you're like me and do not know what disc golf is, go to Main Street Junction during those times.
11 to 2.
11 to 2.
yes.
And check it out.
Well, I'm gonna have to check it out because I'm gonna have to, like you, I'm gonna have to Google it and see what it is. 'Cause
They say
Go
it's,
see it in person.
they say it's one of the fastest growing sports in the nation. They say it's
Wow.
crazy. And like Miss Golf and those are attempting to get a disc golf course here in Union.
right. Well, we'll have to check that out. And now, Lounge 864.
I wish Misty Hackler was here to talk to you about it.
Okay, because I was kind of curious. Lounge 864.
It was born from an idea of having something, so you've got your kids on, and then you've got your stage or your gospel, or you've got stuff for older people, but you didn't seem to have anything for like that, maybe college kids, or maybe 18, 19 and up. And last year we had games like
Yard games.
yeah, large size yard games like Jenga and
Connect Four.
Connect Four,
Right.
and I don't know what all she has planned to be in there this time. She creates a lounge effect in there.
Okay.
So there's kind of some lounge furniture, a fire pit that we don't want to see turned on because it's usually 95 degrees.
Right.
And the first time she said fire pit, we all looked at her, and it was funny. But it's very cool. Like, and there'll be some opportunities for selfies inside there. There's some,
I'll say they're going to have a cornhole contest.
and Jason Sweezy has so graciously said he would head that up for us because we don't know enough about it to get in out of the rain. But he is going to. They say he's an expert, so Jason is going to come and manage that for us.
Now, does he have teams? I noticed they got where you can sign up for it, and teams is like registration required, $50 per team.
Correct.
So they must have a good turnout course to sign up for it, and plus the winner will seem like we'll get pretty good.
Well, that is based off of like the buy-in.
Number
Right.
of entries we have. Yeah.
Exactly. I know that Wings here in Union, they have him contest all
That's
the time.
right.
Like I said, it gives them guys an opportunity. Come out, show you stuff, support your community. Come out, and now I'm pretty good at it.
Are you really?
I used to
Yeah,
be.
I'm not. You don't want me on your team.
So when I select my team, leave you off, right?
Leave me off.
But it's fun. I mean, and people don't realize it is exercise because one thing about it, when after I do it, I'm sore, and I'm very active in doing things, and I get sore on it. Now, and that's going to be around 2:00, and now the I didn't ask where it's going to be at the lounge at 864
That's at the depot.
at the depot.
At the
Okay,
depot, yeah.
okay. Well, I kind of figured that.
Yep. And it's kind of easy to turn that into that whole loungy feel,
Right. And because they used to have some music there for people who don't know.
That's right.
Music on Main was right there. And,
Hopefully we'll get back to that.
yes.
We love that.
Yeah, I missed that. And
know.
I haven't been to any this year, actually. Usually I go to some in other towns once in a while, Woodruff and different things like that. But always enjoyed this because you had some good TJ.
That's right.
And of course, Quest. And see, some others.
And it's important to plug here that TJ was not available for us this year. TJ is a go-to. I love TJ. I love to hear his music, love to hear him sing. He was not available to sing at Uniquely Union this year, so.
Well, I get all his information because
Yeah.
I kind of follow him a little bit, and he has a booked up calendar.
He really does.
And I've seen him, and unfortunately, in some of the funerals that I've been to, that he's played there and sing and had instrument, and it was great.
TJ is just a great guy, great entertainer, really, really good.
Yeah, and so I was wondering when I was looking at the lineup
Yeah.
like that, and I thought, well, looking at his schedule,
Yeah,
man, he just stays booked up
he does.
on it. And on the stage 2, now you're going to have the New Life Praise Band. There's going to be from about 11 to 12. And now I've heard them before also. Is it the Childers?
Jay's the
Jay?
director.
Okay.
They are amazing. If you've never heard them, they are a sight to behold. If you're looking for somebody to take you to church, they can take you to church. It's really, really good.
Yeah. Now his dad, he was a singer, still is.
Right.
And a matter of fact, we got an actual album of the
From
Childers.
them?
Yes, sitting in there. I was looking, I said, wow. I mean, it's quite a few years when you get an album,
Right.
original. And Serenity.
I'm
Right.
excited about that. They used to be a staple of Uniquely Union back when we were at the fairground. I remember one year we were under that shed and they got to singing, and I had goosebumps all over because they were just so wonderful. I love Rossi and his group, so we're excited that they're coming back to Uniquely Union.
It'll be good.
And they're going to start approximately around 12, 1 o'clock like that. Now, we all know that sometimes times
There'll be
run.
overlap. Yeah.
There'll be some overlaps or stuff like that. So, and also Assembled.
Yes.
Where are they from?
Assembled is from Lockhart. Lockhart Baptist.
Okay.
I believe they, if I'm not speaking out of turn, and that is Tiffany and Lee Littlejohn and
Monica Vlock,
Monica Block and Monica's daughter.
Abigail, Abby.
And I even think Arnold plays with them sometimes.
So too.
And their name, I asked them to do Music on Main before the depot was ever built when we were doing music in the park.
Right.
So she said, I need to come up with us a name. So she said, we're saying yes, but I'll come back to you with a name. So she came back with Assembled. And meaning that they feel like that group has been assembled by God. So very cool. Yeah, I love to hear them as well. Very, very good.
Yeah. It always interests me is how bands and groups come up with names.
Yeah, yeah.
I got to interview.
And logos.
Yes, and logos. John Cafferty and Beaver Brown Band. I don't know if y'all remember that group
I'm
years
sorry,
ago.
no.
Yeah, but it was called John Cafferty and the Beaver Brown Band. Matter of fact, I think they still tour.
Beaver?
Beaver Brown
Okay,
Band.
okay.
And when I was interviewing him, I was asking him, I says, now, how did you come up with that name? He
That's
says,
right.
well, our group, we had to come up with a name. We went in my garage, we shut the door, and said, we're not coming out until we found a name. He says, after hours and hours and other things, he said, we looked on the shelf, and there was paint. It was called Beaver Brown. So we named that.
That's
Wow.
funny.
So it's very interesting. Now, I never did get the Air Supply to, interviewed them, but I never did find out how did they come up with the name Air Supply.
Right.
So I kind of missed that one.
I bet we could Google it.
I bet we could too. Yes, everything you can Google, right?
That last spot, 2 to 3, it says to be announced. Well, we can announce it.
Right.
Oh, Sean Morris is going to sing between 2 and 3 on Saturday on stage 2. We didn't get to talk with him before we printed these, so that's why it says that.
Yeah.
And the actual printed ones that you pick up at the festival, and it will be changed momentarily. But the ones that we will actually have printed professionally will have Sean's name on there.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
he was our last holdout. So
Well, I felt guilty asking him because he was going to be a judge for us for my pageant, and I asked him to be on standby. If we didn't have enough men to do the hair contest, would he sing during intermission for me at our pageant? So I hated to really ask him again, but he was a sweetheart and he done it. So we love him.
Sean is a sweetheart, yes, and I don't know if he's traveling as much as he used to because he used to travel with another group there on that big old
Yeah.
bus like that. That's a neat bus
Yep.
that
He
they
stays busy.
travel on. Yeah, church keeps him busy, and plus everything else. I love Sean, and especially he makes have them make me some good banana splits over at Dario.
he could almost be a stand-up comic.
Oh yes,
Good.
He could almost be. He could sing, and he started this singing telegram business.
yes.
He'll deliver you some
That is so good.
good or bad news. It's so funny, so funny.
And he delivered any news you want him to deliver,
That's right.
and he'll make it funny.
That's right.
The wonderful personality he's got, and all the groups that you got right here, even all the local groups are standout people. I mean, they've been in the entertainment for a long time. They go around all these places from Greenville to Asheville. They're in hot demand.
Yep.
And the idea with the local, we know those folks on stage 2 are good, because we've heard them, we've been around them. But at the end of the day, they have their own draw as well. Their churches are coming,
Yes.
their families are coming. So during those times that those folks are singing, they're drawing their own audiences. So, selfishly, when we make a decision to ask somebody to sing, there's a reason behind it. There's a where and a why. We're not just doing it because because we think we like them or they're our best friend or anything. It's because There's a reason. There's a rhyme to the reason.
Right, and that's the purpose of the main event, is to draw a crowd down
That's
there.
exactly right.
You know, people, we've heard it many times. There's nothing to do in Union or anything like this, but they can't say that on the 15th and 16th
No.
because it's going to be jam packed. It's going to be awesome. Y'all
And the
done a great
majority
job.
of the stuff is union. I mean, our cookers, the majority of them are union. Our talent, it's union. And, you know, our festival name is Uniquely Union. And I think that's what we're showcasing this year, is how unique we are. We've got all these wonderful people in our community, and we're trying to showcase them through this festival, as well as give back to the community, you know, to thank them for being a part of our community. And we're so thankful for our sponsors for giving us the money
Absolutely.
to do this. The city and the county are our biggest sponsors, and a lot of that comes from the hospitality tax, and no one likes a tax.
No.
But this is a way that the city and the county feel they can give back to the people for paying that tax.
That's right.
And it's needed in other areas, but the extra that's left over, they're giving it back, and we're just thankful
goes
that we're a
together.
part of that.
Well, I'm going to come back. I'm going to give you sponsors one more
Okay.
plug in, and we'll finish out when we come right back. All right, it's the top of the hour, and we're going to close out. And we have enjoyed having Kacie and Jami here with us. And you've enlightened us so much on a lot of different things, how the park and all the vendors and stuff, and just the entertainment's coming. And I know that y'all are going to be exhausted when this is over. We probably won't see y'all for at least a week. On it. So let me put your picture back up here. And so I really appreciate you both coming on and filling in what's going to go on in a couple of weeks. And I know it's not over for y'all. It's just the beginning, and it's just like a wedding. You know, you get things planned up. But when that time comes, you're running, up and running. And thank you, families too, because you know, without your families backing you, you know,
You're right.
it could be horrible.
And this is a wedding for a couple thousand people.
Exactly.
More than a couple.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what we want. More people come in from all around
Yeah.
to come and see how uniquely Union is.
That's right.
Well, thank you both.
Thank you, Jerry. Thank you for having us.
You're welcome. And thank y'all for watching Prime Time with Jerry McKee. And we will be seeing you next Monday. Steve Eager is going to be with us, and he's an entertainer and a musician. And he's going to talk a little bit about his music, and the song he wrote for Greenville, which is going all over Greenville, and all the school stuff having come in. So I'm Jerry McKee, and we will see you next week.